Hi, this is Anil and welcome to the video tutorial for the Learning Lite on C++ programming. So in this tutorial we're going to learn how to throw the exceptions from the functions. So in our program, just for the demonstration purpose, let's create a function and the return type is going to be void, no return type, and then the function name, let's say test, and then any parameters if that function takes, so no parameters. And then we need to specify what type of exception this function that we're gonna write is gonna throw. So here, to specify that, we need to write the keyword throw and then a pair of parentheses, and between these parentheses we need to specify the type. For example, if your function is throwing integer type of exception, you need to write int here, and if it is also throwing a character type exception, then you need to write char, and it also throws a runtime error, then we need to write that here also, like this, separated by comma. And if you don't specify anything here, at that time you can't throw any exceptions from this function. But here I'm gonna paste it again, and now from this function we can throw these three types of exceptions. So now we're gonna define the function body, and we're not gonna write any statements. We're just gonna throw any exception here. So first we're gonna throw an integer type of exception. Let's say throw 20, a integer value. So now in our main function we need to call this test function. Since this function is throwing some exceptions, we need to place that between the try and catch block. So it's gonna be try and then a pair of curly braces, and between that curly braces we need to call this function, so it's going to be test. And then we need to write the catch blocks, so it's going to be catch. And here, if you guys want to have 3 catch blocks, you guys can have, or if you guys want to write only 1 catch block, it can handle all the exceptions, you guys can do that. So here we're just going to write int e, and we're going to see out and e, and we're going to say integer type. Alright, now I'm going to copy this and paste it, and let's change this one to C, and here it's going to be character type and it's going to be C, and again I'm going to copy this and paste it in the next line, and let's change this one to R, and here we're going to say runtime error. Let's change this one to r dot what, we're gonna call the meta. Alright, now I'm gonna save this, I'm gonna build and run this, and hopefully we don't have, okay, we have an error. And let's open up the logs, and it says what in R is not a class type int. Okay, that's because we have this type here, we need to change this one to runtime error. And also here it's gonna be char. Alright, now I'm gonna save this, I'm gonna build and run it again, and this time we're not gonna have any error. And okay, now you guys can see integer type and we get 20. So now I'm gonna throw a character exception here, and let's say C, and I'm gonna build and run this, and character type C. And if I change this one to throw some runtime error, let's say runtime error, and what the heck, whatever it is, and build and run it, runtime error type, and it says what the heck. Alright, now we have specified here what type of exceptions our function test is throwing. If we leave it blank, at that time this function cannot throw any exception. So if I try to build and run this, we'll get the error now. Okay, our program has crashed, and it says terminate called after throwing an instance of std runtime error. What the heck. Alright, so that's why when you throw exceptions from the function, you need to specify that by using the throw block, and you guys can specify multiple type of exceptions separated by comma. So this is how you guys can specify what type of exceptions a particular function is gonna throw. And thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.